when you're on a, you can't laugh.
I didn't laugh.
Okay.
No.
That's fine. I won't look at you. I'm looking at the cameras anyways.
No, I'm gonna laugh
Okay,
now.
start it over. It's too much. Start it over. I won't laugh. Start it.
Well, now I'm gonna laugh.
When you're first starting out on a gluten-free diet, it can be overwhelming. It can feel really expensive, but over time, you'll learn things like I'm about to teach you here that will help you both with convenience and cost. So today, we're going to be making a gluten-free, dairy-free, make-ahead oatmeal mix that I'm gonna store in these containers. I'm doing this because my youngest is 100% gluten-free and he loves this oatmeal. And so in order to save money by not buying packets and making my own mixes, I'm going to show you how to mix this up today. We're gonna be using gluten-free oats. You're gonna wanna make sure they are certified gluten-free to make sure that they are not gonna cause any issues when you eat them. We're gonna be using coconut milk powder. Yes, if you didn't know that existed, it does. Highly recommended. It's just the right consistency for this oatmeal. We're also gonna be adding a little bit of brown sugar. I'm gonna also do cardamom, just to give it a little touch of sweet smokiness, and some freeze-dried fruit. In this case, I'm gonna be using freeze-dried strawberries. So let's get to it. First, we're gonna blend the oats, and we're gonna do that so that they basically go from being whole oats to quick cook oats, because this is something that we are going to microwave later. You could absolutely use this mix on the stovetop, but when we're in a hurry in the mornings, I usually end up microwaving this. So I am going to measure this out. This is the last of this bag, and then I have another bag here. I'm gonna do probably 3 cups at a time. Oh, party foul. This always happens. All right, so this is going to, we don't want to pulverize this. We're going to give it a pulse, mix it up, and give it another pulse. So here we go. Ready? So you have to mix it with this one. If you're using a blender, it'll probably spin up a little better, or you could put less oats in this. There it goes. It doesn't really take much. It's literally a quick pulse. I might do one more. All right, that's perfect. And then we're gonna repeat this, hey-o, for the next jar. We do wanna fill these jars up because I'm gonna use my hand as a funnel, sort of, maybe-ish. I'm gonna be adding other ingredients to these jars. So about 3 cups per jar is gonna be just about right for the oats. These are quart-sized jars, wide mouth lids. You can, of course, reduce this down if you're using smaller jars. Okay, we have the second one blended up here. I'm gonna then pour this one in here. Okay, perfect. Let me just clean this up real quick. To these 2 quart-sized jars, I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Each of these jars is probably about 6 meals worth, 6 breakfasts worth, so not too much sugar in each one. You can always dial that up or down, or use another alternative, maple sugar, coconut sugar, whatever sugar-free alternative you need, you can use that as well at this point. Just make sure that it is dry. We don't want to put any wet ingredients into this. You can always add sweetener at the time that you are cooking this as well if you need to do that too. Next, I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of the coconut milk powder. They might be a little heaping, that's fine. This one is a little chunky, so I'm trying to break it up a little bit. This is just gonna add a little creaminess. Also, I'm adding strawberries to this, so the coconut and the strawberries are gonna work really well together in there. Next is going to be protein powder. I'm just gonna add 1 scoop, so this is probably about 15 grams of protein, which will just get dispersed into the meal. So it's not a ton, but it's just enough. Also, this is a vegan protein. This is a pea protein. It has vanilla as well as a touch of coconut sugar. Last but not least is the strawberries, but before we do that, we need to shake these up. I want to incorporate this, and we also need to crush the strawberries. And I'm just going to do that in their bag before I transfer them into the jars. Two ways to do this. You can put the lid on and shake, or you can just incorporate like this. I'm gonna use the knife just to get the ingredients mixed in really well and evenly and down into the bottom of the jar. We don't want only oats at the bottom of the jar. A little bit of brown sugar here. Let me break this guy up. Oh, he's being stubborn. Okay. Stubborn, just like my oldest child. Cut. The oldest child's right there. Just kidding, you're not stubborn. Are you stubborn? No. You take after your mother, aren't you? You're stubborn. Oh, teenagers, gotta love them. All right, are you mad now? I'll cut all that out, don't worry. Maybe not.
I really don't care.
Last but not least, freeze-dried fruit. I'm doing, again, strawberries. Actually, there's one more thing. We didn't add the cardamom. Why are you laughing? Just a little bit, like a eighth to a quarter. Not a lot. This stuff is powerful and super flavorful and does really well. We have all of the dry goods here in our jars. Last but not least is our freeze-dried fruit. I'm going to be doing strawberry because, again, the coconut, the cardamom in there. You can use cinnamon and freeze-dried apples. You could use a little cinnamon and freeze-dried mangoes. Cherries would be delicious as well with the cardamom. So however you want to mix and match these, you can go and do that. So I'm actually going to open this just a little bit and then seal it off. I want there to be a little bit a way for the air to pop out, but I don't want all of these freeze-dried fruit to go all over the place when I mash this up. So we're just smashing this down. Again, there's an opening here so the air can come out, but you really want to crush this. You can just do this, like, we want to get the pieces smaller. Oop, that's what I was trying to prevent from happening. I'm going to inhale this strawberry powder. Little pieces are okay. You just don't want too many big pieces. Big pieces are okay. We just don't want too many of them. Okay, and I think I can fit this one bag into these 2 jars. I usually go through about one of these bags a week-ish when I'm making this, like, for his breakfast. Let's see, this is gonna be close. I'm gonna do that same incorporation with the knife to get this down in. And this one we'll be able to see better how deep we can get. Yeah, you can see. Here, get a close up right here. You can see how this is gonna be beautifully incorporated into the bottom. He would be very sad to not have strawberries in the last batch that comes out of the bottom of this jar, so. Okay, our Make Ahead oatmeal is all mixed together. The recipe for the gluten-free, dairy-free Make Ahead oatmeal packets, even though this is just a packet, it's basically a packet. I'm gonna store it in these jars, is over on the $5 Dinners blog. The link should be right down below in the description. You can get that saved, printed, pinned, however you keep a hold of your recipes. This is just a really great, convenient, and affordable way to do gluten-free oatmeal for breakfast for any of the gluten-free people in your house. We have more great recipes over on the blog and videos coming out all the time, so make sure that you like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos.
Here's how you then make it for breakfast. I'm going to add 2/3 of a cup of the dry mix as well as 2/3 of a cup of water. I'm going to microwave that for 1 minute and then mix it all together. It will be piping hot, and from there I'm just going to add a touch of milk to cool things down and get it to the right consistency that we like it. And there we have our gluten-free, dairy-free, in this case strawberry oatmeal that we made from our pre-made mixes. Hope you enjoy.